Unspoken Logic wa mama analia na kushaga meno every single day. Steven hapa hivi, kwanza nafaa nikuwe na heshima. Sorry Steven here. Yes, let me just start hivyo.
Jeff hapa, good to be back.
Abel hapa, my name was stolen and we know by who.
Charles hapa.
Actually, if you can see here, today we have amazing people, but nimesahau big up watu wenye wako behind the scene.
Yes, kuna mlami hapa. I'm back in this episode. Happy to be here. Yeah, karibuni sana.
Shukran.
Yeah.
Shukran. Yeah, today I'm supposed to be courteous because we have amazing gentleman with us who is going to introduce himself very well and what he does, so that you can know that tumeleta bwenyenye, a man with wisdom. Karibu sana.
Thank you. My name is Abel and I'm in the advertising industry. What I do is we make radio and television commercials, and I also do many other biasharas. Mimi ni entrepreneur.
Unaitwa Kinuthia.
Kinuthia kabisa.
Wanafunguanga limited company. Na hiyo limited company iko na usi, ni law firm, ni iko na
tunauza
biashara kama zote.
inauza uzi ya kushona nguo, uji ya Kirinyaga Millers, electronics. Na ni nduti one stop.
hata smocha tunauza.
Na mnazi brand amazing.
Yeah.
Now the main reason why leo tume decide that we needed a gentleman mwenye ako older than us is because tumeona a lot of anguish in younger gentlemen. Na one of the main reason why we needed and advocated for this is because a friend of mine, I'll tell you a short story, right? Now, a friend of mine, we were having a conversation, right? And then this guy akaniambia the dad left them when alikuwa 4 years. Okay, this guy is 32. 4 years now. They were, they were very devastated, and the way mzee alienda. Mzee alitoka asubuhi like any other day, kama anaenda kazi, gazeti, jeans, nguo. The guy left. Now he didn't come back. Called him, wakashanga jamani kama alipotea nini, but the guy was gone. Now after kuulizia here and there, ikasemekana apparently the guy lives in another town.
Oh.
Yes, so the guy had left the family.
So he abandoned them. All right. Now, after abandoning them, after this guy, after 18, not 18, but 14 years, this guy alikuwa amefika 18, decided to call the dad. Akambia mzee, najua ulienda, I know kulikuwa na ma issues kwa family, but please, can I see you? I just need to see you. Mi nilikuwa nakupenda sana, nataka kuona. And the guy was like, sawa, we can meet at Archives. And this guy akaenda akapigia, waka decide time nini kila kitu. When the gentleman alifika pale akapigia babake, the dad akamwambia, nakuja, uko wapi? Ni akamwambia, ni wewe umevaa fulani umevaa red. The guy alikuwa amevaa red. Yes, unakaa hivi na hivi. So after amemwambia hivyo, jamaa kavanish again. Oh no.
Up to today, 33 years ajaimuona again.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Now this guy hates the dad kabisa. Na he was telling me that hiyo ni kitu yenye inafanyika kwa a lot of other people. So maybe my question to you as our older gentleman here is, where is the disconnect? What happened? Like ni nini ilifanyika? Because I know your dad was there for you. Mbona sasa imefika ni mahali kuna a very big disconnect that we are not being even mentored. Tuko autopilot. Ni kweli?
Yeah, that's true.
Jamaa, wewe uko autopilot. Kidogo. Yes.
Yeah.
let me put a disclaimer
Okay.
before I answer you.
Okay.
I have learned that sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. So when we think of a story like that one,
Yeah.
I would say I would need to know the entire story, because there's another side we don't know. We only know the side of the young man.
Yeah.
We don't know what affected the dad to do that,
To run
abandon
away.
just like that.
Yeah.
He did not even show signs of abandoning, so you would never know what happened. So I don't judge.
Yeah.
I may be right, I may be wrong. Even your viewers
Yeah.
need to get that disclaimer. I may be wrong about my diagnosis of whatever happened,
Yeah.
but I may be right.
Okay.
So being a man is a big job. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is for all of us. Yeah. Because number one, you're given the job of protecting a whole unit.
Yeah.
Okay. You're given the job of providing for a whole unit,
Yeah.
family unit.
Yeah.
You're given the job of guiding a whole unit. Hiyo ni kazi rahisi.
It's not an easy job.
Sio kazi rahisi. And there are pressures. There's kazi, pali unafanya kazi, uko na boss.
Yeah.
Was he working? You don't know.
I don't know.
You may
Yeah.
not know. Was he doing biashara? You don't know. So we don't know. We may not know
Yeah.
the pressures that he was going through.
Going through.
So I will start by saying men have a lot of pressures.
True.
Yeah. But we are strong to stand them. That's why God created us the way we are.
Okay.
We are able to
Withstand.
them. Yeah. But we are all weak. We are human. Kabisa.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't judge that muzee. And so it's very hard to talk on his behalf and say, okay, this happened, that happened.
Yeah.
But I'll go back and say this. Our job is to protect that young man.
Yeah.
Okay? Provide for that young man. Okay?
Yeah.
And then guide that young man into another man who's going to repeat what you did. Okay?
Yeah.
So out of that pressure, maybe mzee alifikiria
wengine tuna fumble. Alifumble tu.
yeah,
Aliogopa.
hii kitu hai make sense. Wacha niende nikae peke yangu nifikirie pengine nitarudi. Then as he went, akakaa pahali akakaa,
Akaona sunset.
akaona we maze, it's brighter here. And maybe there was someone else. There are many things that could have happened. Maybe a chikidi or another wife or
Na vitu kama hizo.
vitu kama hizo zinaweza happen. So I would not judge. I'll tell the young man, don't judge your dad
All right.
until you sit down with him and talk to
reason
him and understand.
I agree.
Yeah.
Unaonaje, Jeff?
I think Abel is right. Always judge.
Yeah.
And until you get to find out until you find out both sides of the coin, nini ko hapo, utaweza kuunderstand kwa nini huyu mzae walked away. Unaona?
Yeah.
Cause unaweza pata maybe he found out there's something the mom was doing hakuwa anataka, yani hata kuambia hadi ya watoi wake.
Yeah.
It's until that boy sits down with the dad, buda yake hata anaweza kaa hivi anze story, hata huyo buda anze kulia aseme I did not want to lose you guys, but from whatever I was going through, I had to walk away. Juu ingeni break ningekufa mapema.
But now the guy tried.
Yeah.
He tried to get to the dad.
To the dad, yeah.
And the dad didn't give him a chance. So when and where will he learn what really happened if the dad is not open to conversation? So now this guy is left in darkness.
Yeah.
He does not know, because for example, most of the things that we do in life, even a car comes with a manual. Okay, because now if I didn't know how, if I didn't experience my dad being a father, So how am I going to be a father to someone else?
That's
and
true.
and then let's call it maybe being a dad. How am I going to be a dad and have not experienced it before?
Yeah.
So I think now that becomes now a vicious cycle, because now if he gets a kid, whether intentionally or when it just happens,
Yeah.
then that now kid is also in the dark, because now this guy can't even give guidance because he didn't get guidance in the first place.
So our community has been broken.
Yeah, so
Yes.
now I think that's where now everything now starts falling apart. Yeah.
What do you think?
Actually, I think you're right. Actually, but there's that aspect of we don't know what happened. In both maybe the pressures, maybe the wife. We don't know what happened. But now, when this young man was seeking to know the dad, he said he was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
So ilikuwa ni yeye alikuwa anajaribu kutafuta mzae, and you never know, maybe mzae alikuwa sema when they are old enough I'll look for them, I'll explain when they are, but sasa unaweza pata alikuwa na ile haja ya kutaka kujua.
The problem is
But
we don't
they are
have
young.
time. You don't know when you're going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
There's
going
that
to die
aspect,
and
yes.
you are still waiting for your son to grow up, or the son dies. Like
Things happen.
these things, why don't we just sort them out
Yeah,
early
that's
enough?
true. And you know, even men panic.
True.
And I'm thinking
Yes.
this guy might have seen his son and probably saw himself.
Have you ever panicked while, growing up? Because we knew our dads were stoic. I was looking at my dad, and I used to look at my dad being very stoic. Kwanza, my dad was a soldier. And he's still a soldier. He retired, but he's still like very
retired
stoic.
soldier, yes.
Yeah, it's like ni tu paka imenyeshewa kidogo juu imelalala juu ze
But
imekikin.
it's part of him.
It's part of the whatever. Lakini I used to look at my dad and I was like, this hata nilikuwa namwambiaga dad fanya hivi afu we will do this, and then I will like
My son does
muscle.
that.
So he does that.
I need to go to the gym.
And then he wasn't even bulk, but I used to touch it, and then I used to feel this
There's
is what
protection
I want to
actually,
be.
yeah.
Yes, but at the same time the pressure that was coming in is that I wanted my dad to see me as a winner. I wanted my dad to know that I'm there and I'm going to win. Now, so the pressure was too high that once my dad told me endo usome and then ni fail, nilikuwa najua nimelet my dad down sana, and then my dad wouldn't even tell me ati usijali, everything will be okay. Ilikuwa ni kiboko.
Yes.
Kiboko ingine noma sana,
Lazima ungechapo.
sindio? Na for me I feel like I don't know if that was like good, ndo nilikuwa nataka pia uweze kutueleza ama it really ruined us ama ni nini inaendelea, kwa sababu the situation right now I don't know if I'm supposed to hit my son ama I'm supposed to talk to my son. I don't know, because my dad was like, mi nilikufa, my dad ashainiua, alinipiga akaniua, nikakumbuka,
Kwa reincarnate.
juu ile beating I used to get isindio.
What kenye naweza sema ni before Abel ajibu, naweza sema stoicism, like I always say, being stoic as a man is very important. Na one thing that I truly now understand and know is that stoicism in our dad has played a very big role to the people we are right now.
Alright.
Unaona hiyo kukaa ngumu, kukauka, yani mzae yani alikuwa na kuangalia hivi unaogopa. Unaona hiyo attribute ya kukua let's say heartless, but you love your kids. You don't like throw them around, you don't nurture them. They were raising us to be men. Unaona, so that toughness has played a very big role to who we are right now. Yeah.
Kiboko lazima wewe.
Kiboko ni
Kiboko lazima. Let me tell you, that's how you teach them.
Okay.
That's how you teach them. At a certain point, they will not hear your words. Unafikiri wanasikianga ile kitu unasema? No, they watch you. They always watch you, like those 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
We call them terrible
twos.
I don't like calling them that. They're terrific twos.
Terrific terribles.
I love children. They're
Okay.
beautiful.
Amazing.
But the first time I chappered my son, wow. I think it was more painful for me than him. And I remember I put him here, told him I'm going to chapper you. I explained to him why I'm chappering him. So that's the order. You explain to him, this is the consequence of what you have done.
Okay.
Not the other way around. You don't chapa him and then explain to him. You explain to him and then you chapa him. It was my first time. I had a long stick. And then he said, but daddy, don't hit harder. Don't hit harder. So he had agreed he's going to be chapwad. Alikuwa najua nitachapwa. Lakini daddy, please, usinichape na nguvu. You know? So I chapped him. And he learned. And it was about drawing on the wall. Because I had told him, crayons are not for drawing on the wall. Yeah? And he kept on doing it and doing it until I chapped him. The day I chapped him, he's the one who was teaching his friends, do not write on the wall. Go and find a paper and write on it. So, kiboko ni muhimu.
Oh, okay. See juu siku hizi tunaambiwa hapana usichape mtoi.
Hakuna cha siku hizi.
Ati talk to your child. You know, when you hit your child, then that fear, you know, arises. I'm sure wewe sahi you can't like you have fear. Do you respect your dad or you fear your dad?
Of course, okay, unajua kuna hiyo expect where hakuwa na time ya kuexplain hiyo kwa nini napigwa.
You see,
Sasa
ilikuwa ni
makosa.
vita.
okay.
Ilikuwa ni upigwe, like, unajua umefanya makosa, unajua consequence ni gani. So hakuna nini, so unajua next time nikifanya hivi ni vita. So,
And I think I learned it from my parents.
Okay.
I don't think my dad chapped us a lot because he was not there. He was present. He always came home. But we spent more time with mom.
With mom, yeah.
So ukifanya makosa, my mom would call you and you talk about it. And then she would tell you, go get a rag. Wekele hapa. You know where the kiboko is? Go get it.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the rag yourself. You get you hold the kiboko
Mental torture.
with your own hands,
Yeah.
and then you hand it
Mental
over to
torture.
her. Yes. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you will never.
Oh.
Actually, to answer your question, fearing him ama kumrespect, kumulizaje?
Do you fear your dad? Did you fear your dad or you respected him?
Actually, I grew up fearing him.
Yeah.
Especially kwa setup yetu wenye in the army and stuff, like ulikuwa unamwona hivi unaogopa, hujafanya makosa lakini una tremble, yani, so your go to person was your mom, because at least yako na ile nurturing aspect and everything.
But I think mi naweza side mafadhe kidogo, because venye unasema tulikuwa unapigwa na ujue makosa ni gani, trust you me, kutoka kwa mke mpaka hiyo masa ulifanyia makosa moja, umefanya zingine mingi kidogo. So hata ukichapu unashindwa nile sukari nilidishi kwani aliniona, nile kitu nilichukua kwa ile duka, hapana. So by the time unajireflect umekulwa kiboko, huwezi fanya makosa ingine yenye umefanya hiyo siku. Unaona, si tumeambiwa lakini utafanya.
Na ile anakuchapia ni ile yeye anajua.
Yeye anajua.
But because of that guilt, nini na man, utafikiria mazee hizo vitu zote. Akiumse anakuaga na macho.
Kwani kuna CCTV?
And you know, let me tell you, I'm not religious. Religious is man's way of, finding God or knowing God. I'm spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah. And I believe in the Bible. Let me just say. Amazing. The Bible says it. Yeah. Take that kiboko, keep it away. Huyu jamaa atakuja kurula hapa, atakumaliza. I'm telling you. They need to be chopped up to a certain point where they can hear and listen and understand. Okay. They will understand kiboko up to a certain point. After that, mutaongea. So si ati unachapa watoto mpaka weko ma teenagers, you're still fighting with your sons. That's not right.
Oh, so
yeah. There's a limit.
Yeah, because I also remember my dad used to be very harsh. Na alikuwa ananipiga sana. And at some point I started now doing things because I knew sindapigwa tu, like sasa haezi niua,
ushakuwa immune.
Haezi niua. So you just
continue doing.
You continue. And then sasa the way you said, sikuwa najua mbona napigwa, like nilienda kuswim and I came back home alive. I'm not that guy who drowned, so mbona mimi napigwa? Mbona mimi siku drown?
And you could have reasoned with him and told him, Dad, mimi nishajua kuswim. in fact tunafaa kam uone nikiswim ucheki kama niko sawa ndio uko unaniallow kwenda kuswim and you know when you get to that point you can reason with your dad in fact our children nowadays are reasoning more with us than we did with our parents you know that
Exactly.
at
Exactly.
6-7 years you know wanakwambia but dad you know you're able to reason with them so you need to watch your child, see if they've gotten to a point where you can reason with them you know but even when they are young reason with them before kiboko is just a reminder you know
tumekwambia mara mingi you are not listening
but always reason with them
but you know where we are having for me where I feel like there's a very big disconnect because there's a lot of things that we can talk about as young men that we want to know but we'll be having them as, you know as time goes by but at the same time there's a very where we feel like to let down kama mafadhi is nini kulikuwa gana some information from kitambo yenye it was passed to you
That's
with
true.
your wazee na your wazee venye walipasi to you mumeacha kuipasi to us mumeiweka na some a little bit of I don't know kama ni because you work so much you are not there to talk to us ama is it that your information like it's so vital that we are very soft amtaki kutupea like there's some things zenye tu sahii inabidi tumeanza kusoma kwa literature zangu ukiwa Thiong'o ndo tuweze kujua mimi hiyo nataka babangu aniambie you know you find that I'm marrying a very wrong woman sidio you find that I don't know how to behave with my woman tukiwa kwa nyumba when I'm seated there tunaangaliana tu there's a way my woman is talking to me maybe I didn't see that in our home ujui kama uchape bibi because maybe your dad one time slapped your mom so you are like hapana huyu pia anafaa pigwe slap moja na unajua sahii ukijaribu kufanya kitu kama hiyo unalala ndani like how do we cope with that mechanism it's mind boggling you know kila mtu huko nje anauliza
First of all, I would like to apologize on behalf of, you know,
Baby boomers.
the baby boomers.
kwanza sisi
Sisi ni millennials.
millennials the pressure that we have father
Yeah.
if you put it in your head sai
Yeah.
I'm sure you have pressure
Yeah,
but
we all
our
have
pressure
pressure.
is crazy we are just now he was
I would-
apologizing.
Yeah, I would like to apologize on their behalf. I don't know whether they want me to apologize on their
They will be
behalf.
on this set
But we apologize for letting you down. But I would like you also to have grace
okay
for us. Okay?
yeah
Have grace for us. Because our parents grew up in the rural setting where let me tell you, the African systems,
Yeah.
now that we are learning them, that were there, were really good because boys were mentored
yeah
by men. In fact, by the time unafika 4 years, unaambiwa nisikuone huko karibu na kitchen. That's for your sisters, your mother, your aunties. Yeah. You unaenda kulisha mbuzi huko. If you need anything,
yeah
you know where to stand, unaletewa. Just hang out with men. So men hanged out with men. They went hunting with men. They went
Gathering.
gathering with men. So they learned from men.
yeah
But our modern setting, which we found, like I was raised in this city, in Nairobi.
yeah
Tunakaa hii nyumba, kuna neighbor hapo next door na mwingine huko na mwingine huko. Then across the road, kuna wengine. That's how we lived.
yeah
And everyone wanted to protect their family, you know. So, okay, those days, community was beautiful because if my neighbors, the dad from my neighbor's house found me doing something bad, he would chapa me.
kiboko yeah
He would tandika me.
which
And then
which
hold
estate-
me by the collar like this and take me home and tell my dad or my mom, I found this guy doing this and that. And then my mom would say, oh, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing him. Kuja hapa, ingia huko. Asanti sana baba nani, nimeshukuru. Hey.
Kiboko rematch.
Hey.
Go bring your mat.
Unatandikwa tena.
Yeah.
Umetandikwa huko nje na umetandikwa huko. So there was a sense of community in raising children, you know. It had broken down a bit because now we did not have groups of men sitting with boys. The only time we sat with groups of men is when we went to watch soccer. Yeah, because we did not have internet like you guys.
Yeah,
And TV was rare, by the way. So we would go watch soccer and men who would play a jua and other drafts. And
Draft, eh?
so you would sit around them as boys and watch them and listen to what they were talking about. Yeah, which was closer to what our parents, your grandfathers had. Okay, but it has become even worse when it comes to your generation. Why? Because now we are living in Kile. Nobody knows the next door neighbor. And nobody wants to hear that you touched their child or you reprimanded their child.
That's very true.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't even come and report him.
Let him do whatever.
Yeah.
It's not my kid.
So it's freedom, you know? And freedom without responsibility is wrong. And we're not teaching you guys that you have freedom, but there is responsibility.
So the issue that I see that mababa zetu weren't putting information to us. Shida inaweza kuwa ni our community setting right now. Do you think that's the issue?
Yeah, it is. And still like kama mi ni msapiri. For me saa hii nikitaka kupata kitu inaitwa kirira or I want to get advice from wazee, do you know it's not free of charge?
It
is
is
not.
It's being
Free of
charged.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
not. Unaambianga we kesho kuja na mbuzi, kesho kuja na pombe. So by the time unapelekea pombe mzaya kunywe jug mbili, hata kupatia information anafaa kukupea.
ako maji.
Ako vitu. Ako mavitu. Hata kupatia ile information iko. So even right now information is not free. Information is just you have to pay for it and sahi mavijana tuna work. Unaona? Sahi tuna work. Na hivi tuna work hatuna do. Hatuna hiyo do ya kuenda kuhakana. Hiyo kuhaka mzee unamwambia ati nataka information kutoka kwako. Haizi kupatia tu hivyo. Unaona? Even the list as kitu kama sex education yenye unafaa upatiwe free of charge. Onesheniaje sexuality yetu as men tunakuanga hivi. This is what you're supposed to do when you have a woman with you. This is what you're supposed to do when you already have a wife, when you have your first kid akizaliwa. This is how you should do it. Hakunanga kitu kama hiyo.
Actually we should look for
pay
it to talk to our young.
What he's saying is very true.
All right.
Kirira, I'm Kikuyu also, so I understand Kirira. It has been commercialized.
Yes.
And that is wrong. And many other things have been commercialized, including bride prices. They've been commercialized, which is wrong, which is something I call greed, you know, in the community. And I would ask Waze, who have this wisdom, not to sell it to young men. You're destroying the next generation.
They have already done that, to be
So
very
many
honest.
wazee are dying with so much information.
I know.
Unashindwa mzee lazima kuwe amekunywa chupa mbili ndo anifungukie aniambie mambo zenye zitani build for the rest of my life. But he has to be drunk or he has to be done for a favor. Ati unifungukie kitu itasaidia our future children, our future children.
Don't you think these old men bado they exist in vile sasa tuko so much into the city life that we don't even get time to access shags? Because I believe some of these people are at ease of to maybe how our parents were raised. Kuna places remote hizi vitu bado zinaendelea ni vile sasa tuko consume sana na nini na city life that we hatuna access ya such.
You think you're the kweli, bro?
I would agree with him because I was about to say the only time I can remember nilipewa kirera was only when I was being circumcised.
Circumcised.
Yeah, for a very short period,
And
then,
that was it.
yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
And the only maybe the only person who really followed up and is following up to date is the one I was telling you the other day, Motiri, the guy who was there by me through he keeps on wanting to find out what's happening with my life and everything,
Yeah.
but barely tells me anything. Like, now that you are at this age, you need to have a wife, you need to have done this, so that you see, for instance, now in the Kikuyu way, there's that where if your mother's bride price are not completed, there are some things you're supposed to do. All those things. No one is telling me that. I'm finding that on TikTok at 3 a.m. when I've lacked sleep. That's when I'm learning, I need to do this fast before so that this protects me from things later on in life. But like Charles has said, my grandfather is not stingy with information.
Yes.
So when maybe probably I'm stuck somewhere, I maybe make a call, maybe book him for a day because of course he's busy and everything, and go back to Ushago and ask him. So I'm also even now envying my cousins who live there, because now they are finding this information now accessible over and over. If they have to ask something, you don't need to ask for an off day at work or leave days of a whole week to go Ushago and find out why this is happening in my life or what I need to do now that I'm here. So I think people Ushago, kuna watu bado wanaenjoy hiyo kitu. Yeah, I would think.
That is true.
Yeah, I would think.
Tutatafuta mzee mmoja tumlete.
Maybe it's an opportunity to throw in a plug.
Oh, yes. Plug us. Plug us.
Yeah, I have a podcast myself and my business partner,
Nice.
and his cousins and sisters and brothers, called Shags Chronicles. Unfortunately, it's in Kikuyu. I don't know whether you've seen it. I don't know whether you've seen it, but it's on Spotify. It's on SoundCloud. Yeah. So it's shagschronicles.ke. You can go and look at it.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm plugging it in here is because what we've been trying to do is go back to these wazes before they disappear. Ourselves.
Yeah.
Ourselves, our generation, to go to the generation before and ask them those questions that you guys are asking me, which is very important. Remember one thing. In Kikuyu, they say information is never given. You have to seek for it. And that is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, if I come and I start telling you things about, marriage and and maybe you're not even thinking about
You're
that.
not even interested.
You are just thinking, how will I become a gamer and become the best gamer? You're thinking, this mzai anani bo. It is wisdom to only give knowledge and information to a seeker. So this is your responsibility as young men.
Yeah.
Seek for knowledge, seek for information.
And
I really like what you're doing, because this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
This
We're
is what
seeking.
this is what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So this information will not come to you for free. You have to seek for it. You have to, even the Bible says, knock and the door shall be opened
to you.
You know, and seek and you shall find. You know how it goes.
Yes.
So even in our own traditions, I'm Kikuyu. I know in Kikuyu, this information is not given to any fool.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's given to someone who's gotten to a place. They've asked themselves questions. They really want to know. So they look for the best person to ask, and this person gives them that information.
Oh, nice.
I'm praying that our wazes shall not charge our young people. I know it's traditional, sijui mbuzi, sijui kamurats kidogo, but
amesema ati imefika ni mahali wanakunywa morats mingi before akupe knowledge. So before akupe knowledge
Ashasahau.
asha blake.
Ashazima.
ama ashaanza kuongea juu ya Arsenal.
Like how I say it, how I've always said it
Yeah.
on this podcast. Me I've always said, I tell the my fans, me wambia always ask an older man.
Yes.
That has always been my slogan.
Yeah.
Because me personally, kuna time nilikuwa in a very rough relationship, and the only person I knew who'd give me an answer was someone who was older, someone who has seen, who has had decades of lessons in his life,
Yeah.
through experience.
Yes.
Unaona? So watu utakuta mzaya kuambia, hey, unajua mimi hata sasa niko bibi wa 6. Huyu si wangu, si wa kwanza. Usistuke. Usistuke. Wewe kwa mpole, you just, he knows the ropes.
Of course.
He'll show you, not that they are the same kind of people, like the women are the same, but through his experience ataweza kukuambia what you can do better, or what you cannot do to change whatever is happening in your current situation. Yeah.
And you know, when you ask, the answer addresses your problem,
Yeah.
your current problem.
Yeah.
But if someone just comes and starts telling you stories,
Yeah,
and me, I just want to give you Kirira, most of it itapita.
itakuwa ni vitu, itakuwa ni a lot of information
Yeah.
that maybe inaweza kuwa irrelevant.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not that it's not an important.
It is unsolicited advice,
It's a-
which
true.
is dangerous.
Yeah. So we want to alleviate most of our problems as, you know, young men. Now we will be having these conversations. We will be definitely calling you, and I know you have like even older friends, and we are going to go to shags and even get them. Sindio crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Tuenda tulete wazee kutoka huko ndani interior, wakuje hata kama atakuja na sandals, kwanza hao ndo tunataka. We sit with them because tunalemewa. You know, you don't even know how to behave in your own house.
That's true.
You look at your son, sasa unaanza kutafuta vitu online ndo uweze kujua how I'm going to take care of my child. Vitu zingine kama right now, a friend of mine, this is, I'm sure atanishangaa sana, but a friend of mine went and slept with another person out there, like a lady friend, went and slept with another person, alikuwa na mtoto mdogo, and then akakuja akanyonyesha huyo mtoto. The lady didn't go and shower, and then akanyonyesha mtoto na alikuwa ametoka wherever, alikuwa ametoka huko nje, and then this kid akaanza kukuwa na rashes kwa mwili, akaanza kukuwa mgonjwa, fever and whatnot, and then she was like taking the kid go see mtoto aponi, those stuff, and then we had to call home kuulizia what's happening, and then, you know, one of our older folks akamwambia, you know, say the truth. Where were you? What happened? Like, what's happening? And then the lady was like, you know, we had issues with Baba Flani, Baba Nani, and you know, the guy, he left the house, and then me nikaenda kwa my ex, and then we slept together, and then when nikakuja kwa nyumba, and then, you know, akamwambia, did you even take bath? Did you wash yourself? Did you clean yourself? I did, no, I just came and slept, and I was so drunk. And then mtoi haponi. Now the person akamwambia, you know, atende utafute mwaruba 4, weka kwa maji, and then I don't know, osha huyo mtoto. And within like 2 days 3 days mtoi alikuwa gana rashes, joto imeisha and all that, and then we were like, what happened? Like, and then the madam told us, hiyo ni maneno ya wazee, and then nikaambia that lady friend, utafanyaje kitu kama hiyo, you know. Na because tulikuanga so grey in that, tunataka pia kujua such information, kwa sababu one of the things yenye inatumaliza ni lack of information.
That's true. That's true.
Na technology
the wrong information.
The wrong information.
That's the other thing.
Yes.
The wrong information. Because in this age of information all over the place, you wake up and there's information on your phone, information on your TV, on your laptop, on your workstation at home. There's a lot of misinformation. So you guys need a lot of sieving. You know, you need to have a very fine sieve to be able to sieve the things that are not true.
True.
And even us. It's not just you guys. Anyone who's living today needs a sieve, to sieve information. So the older men ourselves, and even the guys we consult who are older than us, our dads, need to give the information they know.
Yeah, wanafaa
Ile
kuwa
ukweli
kichungi.
wanajua lazima watusaidie, wakuwe hiyo kichungi, that's true. Watusaidie sisi na sisi tutawasaidia. I remember my uncle, he died.
Sorry.
He came to my house. I think I was in my 20s. I think my early 20s.
Yeah.
And we talked. I asked him a lot of questions. You know the way you said you ask someone and they tell you. So I asked him. So how did people live? Why are we the way we are? Why do men and women fight? You know, in marriages. Did that happen when you were growing up? And he said, yeah, it did happen. We are human beings. But there were rules and there were regulations. You couldn't do certain things. Women knew their role,
Yeah.
and the men knew their role. And it was very clear. When a girl was given to you as a wife, the parents didn't give her to you. They give them to your dad and your mom. So that's your daughter. Then your dad says, okay, that's your wife now. Yeah. Tengeneza watoto, create a home.
Yeah.
If you guys kosanad, and na unasikia amekusinya sana,
Yeah.
there are ways to deal with this thing. You didn't have to beat her up.
Oh.
You didn't have to beat her up. You'd go to wazes. If she, kama endi amefinyika, kuna wamama anaenda kwao, anawambia, in your home, not in their home. You know, in your home. Your aunties. Kuna watu wanasikizana nao.
Yeah.
Ukichapa bibi, ulikuwa unafainiwa.
Unapigwa fine.
Mbuzi, ukinyang'anywa mbuzi moja, si unajua hiyo ni mali. That was currency. By the time wazee wakae chini watatue hiyo kitu, lazima utalipa mambuzi. So people avoided such things. They would rather have older people help them sort out issues than start fighting. And you know, I wish we had such things in the modern times where the whole community is involved. Here, this guy is married. It's him and his wife.
Yeah, no, and
Wanang'ang'ana,
he does not want to involve anyone else.
yeah.
It becomes now it's him.
Me, you, and your wife.
Yeah, and at sometimes now, even your parents know that you have a wife when now you have a kid and now you're going to report yourselves.
Yes.
They were not involved. They don't even know your in-laws and all. Yeah, pigs
Yeah, so,
becoming violent. You're not giving him enough attention.
so I had a question.
Yeah.
So, over your lifetime, what are some of the changes in the society that they're a bit saddening? Of course, kuna internet. So, some of those changes that you have experienced in your lifetime, it may distort sana the older generation. Yenye tulikuwa tunafollow maadili and everything na saizi this new.
I would say technology. Technology is beautiful. It has brought us many things.
Yeah.
I remember when I got into my industry, I do audio, a lot of audio.
Yeah.
We used to record on tapes. I don't know whether mshaona hizo za reel to reel.
Sana.
And for you to edit, you had to find where the end of a sentence is, mark, then cut, then spool it again, find the other place, mark, cut, then unashikanisha hizo mbili na tape. That's what these guys do on the computer digitally. Something that takes you 2 seconds, it would take us 3-4 minutes to do. So technology is good. There are many things that we've benefited from technology, but I think the way we use technology has changed us.
Oh, it has changed. Of course it has changed us because hata ukiangalia the information being passed it's like people right now wako na kitu inaitwa wanataka hiyo dopamine from likes. Like if naangalia nimeweka picha yangu, I'm getting likes.
Yeah, you
and
want
then these
people-
likes are not becoming, they are not coming in fast. Now I have to tear my t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then they are coming, and then now they are used to me without my t-shirt, and then now I have to remove my pant. And
And
then
reason is you're envious of the other guy
another person who
who's
alitoa.
getting no
Who's
who's getting
getting
many
likes.
likes. He's getting 30,000 likes,
Yeah.
and you're like, mbona mi napata 25.
25.
Yeah. So it's envy. And those things, let me tell you, we can't wish away technology,
Of course.
but we can regulate ourselves. Yeah. Like, I gave away my TV.
Oh, you did.
I don't want a TV. Sitaki TV kwa nyumba.
It's important.
Yeah.
Now venye wamenyamaza wako na TV 65 inch.
But now how about the kids?
And they don't need the TV.
Yeah, true, they don't.
They don't need the TV. My son does not need the TV. He doesn't even watch it, So you have to regulate yourself. You have to regulate yourself. You have to know this technology is good, sawa, but what is it for?
Yeah.
What value
Does it bring?
is it bringing to the family or to the community?
Yeah. Yeah.
And give it that space. Yeah, kama ni ya kuwatch YouTube and you have this time to this time for
watching.
interacting with the TV, sawa, you regulate yourself. Lakini ikiwa the kid comes from school, first thing he goes to is a TV. Bam, let me watch cartoons. Let me play PlayStation. Doesn't do his homework. He becomes
A zombie.
Yeah. Is it good for you?
We-
I'd rather give it away or even sell it.
Now the problem is, to be very honest, we are so used, our older young men, we are so used to TV right now because kutoka kitambo kutoka
You guys
now
were
our
born.
parents
You
were
were born with
yes,
TVs.
TVs,
Yes.
black and white, but they were TVs.
Yes.
And then because we used to envy people when you big screens, now tuna believe having a very big screen than another person, hiyo sasa ndo inabamba.
hiyo ndo success sasa.
Now hiyo ndo success. Now when my kid is watching the TV,
You're
Sasa,
like my kid is successful.
my
too.
kid is successful too.
But you've forgotten
Yeah.
that TV you have bought is now the kid's parent, not you.
Yes.
I
Because
agree.
today the TV as we speak ndio mzazi wa mtoto.
And that is what we want.
The TV has replaced parents.
That's true.
You
And
see?
that you see the technology is talking about, which we are going to have it.
Yeah.
Now technology versus parents. Here we will have it. Where we'll have like other. Yes, I tunaongelelea like overview
Technology versus
versus
parents.
parents. Exactly. Now, if you're looking at right now, mimi nisipokuwa na TV kwa nyumba, the moment huyu atakuja kwangu aone sina TV, the first thing atakuwa unateseka buda.
Hey man,
Eh,
those things don't work with me.
I used to have 32 inch, and then I took a picture one time of my house. Like it was a picture, birthday picture, and then I had like a TV. And then another friend told me, "Hey, when in Jaluo, hiyo TV gani uko na kwa nyumba?" And then next week I had like a 45 inch very fast. Because
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Hata we as young adults, we still have that peer pressure. We
What are
want
you
to-
teaching your son?
tunataka kuishi kama kina wanaitwa nani hao majamaa wa Jesus
Kabiwa Jesus.
our wives wanataka kuishi kama kabiwa Jesus. Sisi tunataka kuishi kama tunataka wife wetu wa feel very comfortable kuishi kama kabiwa Jesus.
That's a very bad spirit.
It
let me
is.
tell you. It's called envy.
And not even envy. You know who's even pushing that envy sana? Is our spouses.
Yeah.
We have young spouses wenye pia they are very envious than us.
Yeah, and the group that they are hanging
They're
around
hanging
with.
out with.
So now pia kuna hiyo competition. So and then sasa hataki kuonekana kae aliolewa na mtu mwenye ajiwezi.
Ajiwezi.
So now you can imagine the pressure that we have.
Eh.
So your social
I
status.
mean, let me tell you.
Very
Imagine,
nice.
imagine me coming to your house, come with him, and we just sit there and we have
And
this
we talk.
conversation. This is how we grew up because we did not have TVs.
Yeah.
Our parents, their friends
more
would
social.
come. Yes, their parents would come. Their friends would come, and they were social. They would talk for like from 6 till 8. you know?
Yeah.
And us, we are just behind there, just
Listening.
fascinated, and we're looking at them and we're thinking, okay, this is how people live. So they were teaching us how to socialize. Do you teach your child how to socialize? No. So who's teaching?
Junajua.
Who's teaching your child how to socialize?
TV. Yeah, that I agree.
And then there's some people creating content to take advantage of that fact, you know, and teach them all the nonsense they believe in, you know.
Yeah.
To a point, they're using those things in some very innocent cartoons.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that is a conversation we're going to have. We're going to have Abel again for our technology versus parenting. Na kwanza hiyo tunataka sasa you and another TV enthusiast. We sit here tumwambie wewe unatuharibu kwa sababu kwani tunaona news.
I mean,
Tulikuwa tunafaa tusikie news.
that's what I do. I produce content. Right?
You produce content.
Yeah,
Yes.
I produce content.
But reasonable content.
Reasonable content, yes.
One thing I can back him up is that, do you know, mtu hana TV kwa nyumba would be more creative than that person who has a TV in their house.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like these guys who are novelists. Most of them are not under TV.
You're talking about TV, and then there's something I saw on the internet, and it really got me offended because it was a guy giving advice, and he said, why do you have a TV and you're still living in Umoja and Kayole? Okay, why do you need a flat screen in your house? Instead of focusing on your goals and trying how to make, you are sitting down helping other people make money by watching them instead of create. And I was like, so now how do you want me to enjoy my house? Do you want me just to sit down every time
And
and every time
my
I'm working?
frustration.
Yeah, so now I'm just connecting the dots and seeing really maybe he had a point, because sometimes I switch on my TV then pick up my phone. So it's not that I'm really watching.
You're
I
not
just want
watching
to
it.
feel the noise. It's not really that I'm having anything that's constructive or I'm watching anything that's going to.
And what does that
benefit me.
create?
Yeah.
Chaos.
Sure.
Oh, it's great chaos.
It creates chaos. And we've learned how to live in chaos so much. We love chaos.
Chaos. Kelele.
Kelele. And you know what you're doing? You're wasting a very important resource. And that is what? Time.
Oh.
Time with your children, time with your wife, time to think, you know, to be creative, to be innovative, to come up with new ideas.
Time to do your work.
Yeah, time to do your work, time to do, to even brainstorm as a family.
Even eat.
Yeah, sit down and talk about how was your day, and then something comes up from your day and we discuss it, and everyone knows each other's perspective about that thing, and that's how being social should be. In fact, during dinner, you check many families. Most people sit on the sofa and eat while watching TV.
Yeah.
That is very unhealthy.
Or on their phone.
Or on the phone. Or if they sit on the dining table, everyone is on the phone, so they're,
Yeah.
that's the time you throw this thing away.
And you sit and talk.
And Daddy says, no phones until we finish eating.
But let me tell you kitu moja, which yani conversation will go, but unajua kitu moja with our now young generation. The moment you sit down with your spouse and your young spouse ameweka simu kando, the first thing anakuulizanga, unajua tujanunua kitu fulani. Okay? No, si hata ni kitu ya muhimu. Unajua nilikuwa nafikiria tunafaa tununue hii. But then unajua kina nani walinunuanga hii. She starts telling you things zenye angetaka kufanyiwa. And then all of a sudden mnaanza kukua tuna kukosana tu ingine yenye hata haiko inafaa kuwa. So for hiyo kukosana isikue, just put TV
Inaweza kuwa distracted.
ndio sasa kusikue tu na hiyo.
You'd rather come from the frying pan into the fire.
So most of
Because
families,
that's the fire.
Yes, because the moment you sit down with your spouse, watoto sawa, the watoto mtacheza, piga kelele here and there, that's very nice. But we are so disconnected. That's why we really need these conversations.
Yeah.
We are so disconnected with our spouses. You can't sit down with your wife ama your spouse for like 10 minutes before mwanze tu kukosana, na ni vitu tu za upuzi, si ni kweli ama ni uongo?
That's true.
True.
Si ni kweli?
Yeah.
One thing neza kushow in today's era we have everything like take example hii nyumba hii nyumba tuseme inaishi couple and a family
Yeah.
under the same roof.
Yeah.
There's TV, PS, there's everything you'd
Yeah.
ask for in a home. But now venye umesema watakosana. Mzazi ataingia, like the dad will enter the house, not even have 2 hours of his time on himself for himself, watakosana na bibi. Haya, twende ushago penye kuna technology, hakuna hizo vitu zote, hakuna wifi, ka TV bado tu ni ile ya kisogo, ile ya kitambo.
Yeah.
But utapata huu mzee na wife yake hawaonanangi hata sana. Huu mzee anaamka 4 in the morning, atarudi jioni maybe saa 4 ama saa 5 akiwa mlevi, na ataingia kama amelala. Asubuhi 2-3 words to the wife kama ametoka. Now he's following it maybe from his dad,
Yeah.
who alikuwa na katu ushago. The same dad didn't have an education, has never stepped in school,
Yeah.
had 5 wives, had maybe 40 to 50 acres of land.
Yeah.
Wewe mwenye umesoma, uko na degree, uko na masters, hata uwezi eka side chick.
Na hii ni
No,
utaanzaje?
with all of that given to you, the education, mzazi ametumia do na wewe, you can't even have one woman in the same roof for more than 3 years. Mtakosana tu. How did those wazee do it without the technology, without the education, and without all the lights? Ni mtu tu anakaa pali tu atashamshuma jioni, but this guy has over 100 acres of land. He has 6 wives who wote wako in unison, wanapendana.
Tunafaa
I think
tutafute
I-
mzee kama huyo.
I think I want to say
Tunaweza pata mmoja.
I think
And
I
this
can
guy
try
was
and
not
look.
religious.
I
How
can,
time on a
I
church.
can try and find. In fact, there's a story. I don't know whether I should tell it or not. I know of someone who has 4 wives. Amwajengea, wewe nyumba yako iko hapo, mwingine huko, mwingine huko, na mwingine huko.
Yeah.
And every week he goes to one wife. So hapa wife moja, hapa wife mwingine, hapa wife mwingine, hapa wife mwingine. I don't know whether it's practical.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
No, in the city.
yes,
Okay.
I don't know whether it's practical in the city. I know there are people who do it. Yes. But let's think of one wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Na hiyo familia yake. Si huyu wife uko na wife wanne.
Yeah.
Na kila wife iko na watoto.
Yeah.
Let's think of that one unit. Let's say this week uko huku. Let's think of that unit. Let's think of the other unit like that, like that, like that. What do you do when you go to these wives' homes? Do you sit down and speak to your children, speak to your wife, spend time the whole week with them, you know, so that they can know you
Yeah.
and say, hey, we had a good time with dad last week. We
Yeah.
know he will come 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now. We can't wait. You know?
Yeah.
And that's a responsibility of a man.
Okay.
Because you guide your family,
Yeah.
including your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is your responsibility. Hii unasema ati mnakaa chini ati mnaanza kukosana.
Yeah.
Guide her.
Guide her.
Guide her. Tell her, you know, yeah, those guys have those things. They're able to do it.
Yeah.
So you don't know who they're competing with,
Yeah.
but we are not competing with them. Yeah.
Yeah. As
Start talking finances with her. Yeah, this is how much we have. This is how much you want. This is how much I earn. These are our goals.
yeah.
So you tell me how we are going to be able to afford that car with this kind of income.
Yeah.
Men do not discuss finances with their wives, which is wrong. Yeah. So you guide her practically without fighting with her. Unamshow, hey, bana, even your tuko. And we have to live within our means.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
hiyo jioni badala ya kuwatch tv kuwatch sijui siku hizi ni gani, ni Maria ama ni gani ama ni Neema. Yeah. I'm mentioning
Siku hizi ni mingi.
there are many including Mexican ones and South American ones. Instead of doing that, why don't you, or instead of being with the boys, it's okay, go spend time with your boys between 6 and 7, but at 7 get home and let her rant about this and this and this. She's just looking for guidance. That's the truth. So you think she just wants to start a fight. No, it's not. She wants guidance from you. She expects it.
That's nice. That's amazing.
So what's your responsibility? To protect her, to provide for her, and to guide her.
And also to penetrate.
And
The 4 P's. The 4 P's. Presence, provision, protection and penetration. Yes.
Now that you've mentioned if it's practical with many wives, I think that's something that's actually happening. Depending on people now what on equate vitu na pesa sai. There's an MP actually last year when he stood in a crowd na introduced 4 wives. The first, second, third. Mpaka side chick. Na wote wako na keja zao kando. So basically so basically I think that's something practical tukiangalia the amount of wealth this guy has. Lazima kuwe na dondo kwe. Even we had an episode like a few episodes back where we had the 2 ladies here kina Amala. Amala said she doesn't mind being a second or third wife.
By the way, yes. Do you know Sai, our generation, they are very okay in being in a polygamous marriage.
Nyi mko sawa. Gen Z's.
Gen Z's hata si
zile
polygamous.
Stories nimesikia. I don't want anyone who's close to my age. I want a mubaba. Sitaki problems. Mimi nataka tu kulia kwa Range Rover.
Na sasa wewe juu sai venye wewe ni like you are an older man. Juu mimi siwezi imagine sijui father akiwa na msichana mdogo inaweza kuaje, but don't you feel disgusted because sai wazee wanachukua mademo wadogo
Well, I think our children have been raised to become materialistic.
Oh yes, true.
So the Gen Zs, they're good people, they're lovely people.
Yes, very smart.
And they're very smart. And the good thing with them is they did not experience what we experienced. Me, I was there those days of Moyera when you'd be walking in town coming from college and then you see cops from nowhere na marungu. So you start running, munagongo na marungu. You didn't know kulikuwa na maandamano, umebeba vitabu zako zinasambaratika, mnaenda mnasimama mbali, unangoja, unarudi kutafuta vitabu zako, and it was an era of fear. So then they don't know that. So we were taught to fear the government or fear authority. They have nothing like that. There's no fear in them. There's no fear in them.
But it's only umesema ati umemuuliza kama anakuanga disgusted akiona mademu wadogo akitembea na wazee. It's only natural for a younger woman to love an older man who is more experienced than the average younger man. This old man has seen it all, bro. Anajua kuhandle dem. Na utapata mzee do yake na mata, do yake na count.
Of course.
But ask yourself, this chick will be comfortable with this older guy for a long time than wewe.
Tulia Jeff.
Sitetei wazai.
Also remember that even us sasa mabibi wa hao ndo sasa pia sisi wanatusumbua kwa simu. So now what are they seeking from us? We are not experienced more than they are. We don't even have the money. So you see, it's just societal decay. It's not
societal decay.
As a young man.
Exactly.
Hata mimi nilikuwa nasema una justify nini ukisema
hakuna kitu.
Wacha nikwambie.
But hao wa mother ndio wanataka vijana.
Exactly.
Wanataka vijana. Sasa unasema wanatafuta horsepower na sisi. Unaona? Lakini angalia, mimi naongelea this young ladies. Unaona? I'm talking of the experience these old men have is is way more than
Okay,
Hiyo tutaongelelea some other time.
nimesema
Yeah.
do lazima ikue
but don't ndio
Do
sasa
lazima ikue.
kubwa zaidi.
Unaona?
mi sijawahi kaa na msichana akaniambia
anataka mzee
nataka mzee kwa sababu akona experience ama guidance. It has never been that
Atina
case
kupenda-
ever.
atina
Inakuwaga tu
kupenda
ni
juu-
pesa.
juu uko na experience.
Nothing. Inakuwaga ni
Hakuna-
pesa.
ni do kama
pia-
una do
na pia si ati I think ni mademu wadogo wanatafuta wazae. We have a very good example. Umsa amekuwa kitrend last week anaitwa Shannon Sharp. That guy is 53 years old.
Yeah.
Who was dating at 21 year old.
Yeah.
3 times the age. So si ati ni huyo mdemu alimtafuta manini.
nishamsema alimtafuta.
Also remember quoting Coach Bella the way she said last time. Men want to choose what their type when they've made it.
yeah
Yeah.
Okay, and then sasa pia kuna hao wasichana wenye sasa hawataki kukua, walichaguliwa bahati mbaya, wanataka kuchaguliwa na mwenye ashatengeneza pesa ndo maisha yake ikuwe nyororo moving forward. And now because the show has gone so long, I would want us to end by everyone giving us their own maybe parting shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Utapea parting shot.
tupatie mtu wangu
Mimi nitasema hivi. We really thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we want this to be going on and to be a trend where older men talk to young men. Haikui tu mzee anakuja kutuambia nini. What you have told us spot on. Okay, na kama haujasikia then bahati mbaya maybe unaweza rewind. Sahii hakuna tape ya kufanya hivi. Unakuirudisha tu nyuma na usubscribe. Now another thing is let's go back to our roots. Wacha turudi huko nyuma ndo tuweze kujua where the rain started beating us. We have deteriorated very bad. Manze tumeenda mbali sana. Hata sidhani ka Sodom na Gomora ilikuwa hivi. Like si tuko far. Si tuko we are deep. Si tuko Gotham. Najua God anaangalia hivi anasema nyi hata siwa sijui ndawamalizaji
hata
unaona.
Batman hawezi tusaidia
Hata Batman hawezi tusaidia. Let's try and speak to older men. Watueleze how to go about making our lives better. Sindio, let's seek for help. Yes. Yeah.
What I would say is, as young men, seek knowledge.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
knowledge is power. Knowledge is a resource,
Yeah.
just like money and time.
Yeah.
So seek knowledge. It will not come to you. I promise you. You sit and wait for it to come to you. It will not come to you. If you don't understand your wife, find an older man or find a counselor or find even pastor. Sometimes because they deal with these issues all the time, they will help you.
Yeah.
Or a spiritual leader somewhere, who can help you. So seek for it. Don't sit and wait. When your wife starts talking about, our neighbors bought a new C-Class, and us guys, we are still driving this old Mazda, and don't judge her, and don't kasirika. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, just let her talk. Then go find advice to come and guide her. If you don't have any guidance, do not start arguing with her. Go find someone and talk to them and tell them, please guide me. Help me know what I can tell my wife or how I can guide my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, as find knowledge.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it will not come to you. It will only go to the person who seeks the knowledge. Yeah.
Umeambiwa.
True.
Yeah, actually, I think personally I've taken a lot from what you've said. Thank you so much. So it's for us to seek knowledge. Na nitainsistio story ushago wasa ende ushago bana. Tuko consume sana na city life yenye. Me personally mwisho nimeenda Ocha I think in 2022.
Buda.
Ni kitambo so vile amesema hakuna vile wazae watatoka Ocha kuja city life atuambie ni aje fanya hivi ni sisi tuende. So hii knowledge I believe is still available, so much available huko shags ziko ni vile sasa si tuko tu we have other priorities zenye at the end of the day unapata zitu nini azitu favor. Yeah.
mi na feel poa. Abel umekam.
Thank you.
As for me my cup is always empty. Ready to learn. Nimelearn from you, from even what you do, na hauna TV kwako, it's amazing. And I'm yet to see your content, which I will from today. Na tunakunidapa tena. That's what I can say.
I will come back.
Na
Thank
hiyo
you.
TV
Thank
yako
you so much.
utanipea.
Hapana. Hiyo ndio isi.
You don't need the TV.
I'll give it to someone else.
Yeah. Sufi to people who need it.
Yeah.
You know, for biashara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mtu wa PlayStation unaweza mpatia hiyo TV.
fanya nayo biashara
Ama wacha biashara ya PS.
Kuna
ama naweza kuonyesha passion
kama
of
kona
Christ.
arcade
Natembea nao
Yeah.
mi kwangu na need kwa sababu kila time kama niko peke yangu like hapo ndo muangalia inspiration ya vitu na duju. Mi ni mtu wa sinema so hiyo ndo kitabu yangu.
Yeah.
So I would want to be looking at things people are doing now and then. Na kwa kweli TV star chili anytime soon kwa sababu nimeipata nikiwa mtu mzima kwanza. Mi sikuwa na TV kitambo so but anyway it's been very very rich conversation today and I'm really happy that you came. Na hope pia tutapata wengine wenye watatuelimisha on different other things cause vile Steve alisema we are very very much misguided na watu tuko na pressure na tunataka kukani kama tuko on top of things na hatujui nini tunafanya. Okay, na the fact that now kama saa hii watu tunajua wenye walitairi hapa Nairobi walienda kwa church so there's nothing other than the Bible that was read to them. Hakuna kitu kingine walifundishwa. So some of them hata nimi nawaambia ni ati by the hizi vitu ufai kuwa unafanya hivi like ufai kuwa unafanya hivi na these people ufai kuwa unaongelesha watu hivi. Unafaa kuwa mtu akikuja unasimama umsalimie look in the eye like ni vitu watu wajui. Na I hope in the next episodes pia tutaendelea kufundisha watu more and more. Na we are very very happy that you came. Asante sana. So naendelea kukumbusha wa subscribers na wenye wanawatch video waendelee kusubscribe, wa like, wa share. You tell a friend of Unspoken Logic. We drop videos every Monday at 12 p.m. So see you there.
Sahii kwanzia sahii hakuna happy end inshallah. Sahii ni serious talk. Wanaume jo lazima tuwaambie.
Peace out.